Thank you to everyone at the Christian Media Summit. Thanks for having me. Thank you to my dear friend, Dr. Mike Evans, for hosting this event. It's a great pleasure to be with you, even if it's virtually. I'd like to share with you some personal feelings about two subjects, about the Abraham Accords and about COVID-19. What do these things have to do with each other? Well, I would suggest maybe more than you think. On September 15th, I was privileged to attend the signing ceremony of the Abraham Accords on the South Lawn of the White House. At that ceremony, the representatives of Bahrain, of the United Arab Emirates, and Israel all agreed to make peace with each other, to normalize their relations, and the document was signed and witnessed by President Trump. After the ceremony, I headed back to Israel, and I was immediately stuck in isolation. Those are the rules when you come back from a foreign trip. And so Rosh Hashanah I spent by myself with my prayer book and my family. And this was the next day, the day right after I got back from the signing. And I opened up the Torah reading for Rosh Hashanah. What was it about? It was about the story of Isaac and Ishmael. Isaac, from whom the Jewish nation descended, Ishmael, from whom the Arab nation descended. There was a great rivalry between Isaac and Ishmael in that section of the Torah reading. It hurt Abraham very much, but we do know that Isaac and Ishmael reconciled. They reconciled, and together they buried their father Abraham at the cave of Machpelah. So from a ceremony at which the nation of Israel and an Arab nation reconciled their differences, I went right into a biblical portion where essentially the first reconciliation between Jews and Arabs occurred. It was profoundly moving to me, and it told me something. It told me that there was a universal truth to the reconciliation among peoples. There's a universal benefit, a universal goal, commandment for people to make peace with each other. It is perhaps the highest form of human relations, to live together in peace. It doesn't happen as much as it should, but when it does, it's something to all be rejoiced, that all of us together can find peace and coexistence and joy and happiness in each other's lives. COVID-19, what has that taught us? To a certain extent, the same thing. What is this virus doing? It's infecting the entire world. There's no one immune. There's no one safe. There's no place to run. There's no country that has solved the problem. If you're infected with this disease, God forbid, you are just like everybody else, whether you're rich, whether you're poor, whether you live in the East or the West. We're all in this together. It's the same notion. The people of the world have to live together. They have to live with each other. They have to coexist with each other. It is what God is telling us to do, whether in the story of Isaac and Ishmael, whether by bringing us to the Abraham Accords, whether by bringing us together to find common ground and a common cure to COVID-19. I pray that we're on this path. I pray that we find a cure to COVID-19, that this plague leaves us forever. We put this in the rearview mirror, never have to look back. But I hope that the lessons of the Abraham Accords and of COVID-19 stay with us forever. The lessons that we have to work as hard as we can to find peace and coexistence and mutual love and respect for each other. Let's hope that the year 2021, the year Tafshin Pei Aleph, is a year in which this is something that we accomplish. Thank you.